Hola a todos. Hi everyone and bienvenido. Welcome to our fourth Spanish lesson. So today we are going to be looking at adjective and noun agreement and also singular and plural nouns. And we're doing this because it's something that I feel that we haven't quite grasped yet. Okay, so once we can sort of really get our heads around this, it will allow us to move on much quicker in other areas of our Spanish learning. So I'm going to present my screen to you now to show you what we're going to be doing today. All of the things that we've already learned, so colours, animals, that kind of thing, will be coming into use in today's lesson. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to have a think about the names of different animals that you know, okay, and names of colours. Okay, because that's going to really help us to move forward with our learning today. So, also, I've sent out a Google form, or your class teachers are sending out Google forms, okay? And these Google forms are a small set of questions, all multiple choice, okay? So you've got 4 possible answers. One of them's definitely right. You've got a 25% chance of getting it right anyway, even if you guess. Okay, but I'd really like you to have a go at submitting this form, okay, because it informs me as your teacher what you're really good at and what you've understood really, really well, and what you're not so sure about and what we might need to do a bit more practice on. Okay, so it's really good to help me to plan what we're going to learn about each week. So today then we're revisiting adjective agreement and plurals based on the forms that came back in last week. Okay, so my Salon de la Fama. This week then I've had some really nice family trees coming in. Okay, so keep that work coming because I really do enjoy looking at what you've done at home based on what we've done during the lesson. And each week I'm going to display the 3 leaders on the Google quiz board. Okay, so the most responses that I had back then from 6BP, I had 10 children sending their quiz. Second place went to 6CF, I had 7 children. And third place went to 5MW, I had 6 children. Okay, so I really think that we can beat that score this week, okay? So it's really easy to beat. So after the lesson, get the Google link, go onto the form and fill it in and submit it. If you do submit it, I'll give you a raffle ticket. And I'm going to draw next week the raffle. So we'll see who wins the prize. So our LFPA for today. We are learning to use adjective agreement for singular and plural nouns. The focus of this is to recognise and use agreement. Okay, it's not something that we do in English. So it's something we need to really get our heads around to help us to progress with our Spanish learning. The purpose then is to use grammatically correct sentences and phrases. And I'll know that we've done well with this in the assessment because by the end of the lesson, you should know how to make adjectives and nouns agree in gender and number. So very quickly, we're just going to go through the colours. So have a look. You will see rojo is red. Ooh, got the wrong ones right there. Rojo is red. Negro is black. Gris is grey. Rosa is pink. Marron is brown. Amarillo, yellow. Azul, blue. Naranja, orange. Verde, green. And rojo, red. Okay? So we're not going to spend lots of time playing games with the colours because it's something that we've already done and we already know. This is just a very quick revision tool. And again, with the animals, we've got un conejo, a rabbit. Una tortuga, a tortoise. Una serpiente. Un perro. Un gato. Un cerdo. And un ratón. Okay, so we've revised our colours and we've revised the names of our animals. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you to use this link to visit Spanish grammar and adjectives, okay? So if I click on it, hopefully I'll share this instead and you should be able to see. That's it, the Spanish adjectives. Let's make a video to show you or to explain to you how adjectives and nouns work in Spanish, okay? So let me go to the video. Here we are. So this is an explanation of how to use Spanish adjectives and make sure that they agree in number and in gender.
Ugly pets, evil babies, just some of the things you might want to describe in Spanish. But to do so, you need to know how adjectives work. Adjectives are words used to describe nouns. Dog in Spanish is a masculine noun, un perro. Say you want to describe a dog. Well, the noun is masculine, so the adjective needs to be masculine too. They need to agree. If your dog does this, you would say, mi perro es tonto. In this case, the adjective ends in an O. In Spanish, the adjective usually comes after the noun. To describe a house, una casa, which is feminine, the adjective has to be feminine too. In this case, you change it to end in an A, una casa blanca. But wait a minute. Some masculine adjectives end in an E. What then? Fuerte, inteligente, grande. Not a problem. They just stay the same for the masculine and feminine. Un perro grande, una tarta grande. What about adjectives which end in a consonant? Take feliz, happy. Ah, here's a happy cat. Un gato feliz. The ending of feliz doesn't change, whether you're talking about a cat, which is masculine, or a frog, which is feminine. Una rana. Adjectives ending in a consonant don't change regardless of gender. Tengo una hermana difícil. I have a difficult sister. That doesn't change either, even though sister is most definitely feminine. What if you've got two sisters and they're both difficult? You need to make adjectives plural to describe plural nouns. If the adjective ends in a consonant, just add es. And if the adjective ends in O, A, or E, just add an S to make it plural. Got more than one oversized dog? You go from un perro grande to dos perros grandes. But be careful if you're using adjectives to describe
Okay, so I'm just going to stop that there now because we don't really need any more of that. So hopefully you'll see that when we look at adjective agreement, that video might have helped you to understand how to use it better. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slides I was showing you previously. There we go. Okay, so we're going to move on then. So you've watched the video and now we're going to have a go at practicing. Okay, so if you have a look, when we talk about animals or we talk about nouns and adjectives and we try and talk about them as in a group, we have the number first, then the object, in this case the animal, and then the adjective, in this case the colour. So for masculine singular, where there's only one, we'd say un gato rojo. But if there's more than one, so it's plural, we'd say tres gatos rojos. Can you hear the s sound on the end of both gato and rojo? So we've put an S suffix on the noun and the adjective. That means that they are now agreeing. Okay, let's try it again with a feminine noun. So we've got una tortuga roja. So look, the A on the end of tortuga, the A on the end of roja. They are agreeing. The adjective agrees with the noun. To make it plural, to say there is more than one, again we add S. Tres tortugas rojas. Okay, so have a look at my slide. It says aquí hay, and above aquí hay, it tells you what it means. It means there is or there are. We have looked at this before in school, so it should be quite familiar to you. And at the bottom, you can see my little emoji that says, word order. So we need to remember first number, then animals, and then colour or colour with the S suffix on the end. Okay, so we're going to look at numbers from uno to cinco. So uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. We've done this before. We know our numbers. Okay, so what is my picture showing? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 red dogs. But how do I say that in Spanish? So I need to say the number first. So I've got aquí hay uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Aquí hay cuatro. And then I need the word for dog. But in this case, I need to make it plural because there are more than one. So I've got cuatro perros and the colourful red in Spanish is rojo, but that also needs to have an S suffix on it. Rojos. Aquí hay 4 perros rojos. I have 4 red dogs. And remember, the colour goes after the noun. Let's try the next one. What do I have here? Aquí hay. So count the animals. We need the number first, then the animal, then the colour. And remember, if there are more than one of that animal, you need to make it plural, and you will need to make the colour plural too. So here I have, aquí hay 5 gatos amarillos. Okay, so gatos amarillos. You can see they are the same at the end. Okay, and they are masculine. So now I've got 2 cows, and it tells me at the top that una vaca is a cow. Una vaca. So I've got a cow. How would I say here are 2 yellow cows? Now remember, una vaca is feminine. So the word for yellow is going to need to be feminine too. So how would I say I have 2 yellow cows? I need the number first. Dos. I need to make the word for cow plural, vacas, with an S suffix. And I need to make my word for yellow both feminine and plural. Let's have a look how to do it then. So aquí hay 2 vacas amarillas. Okay, can you see how the ending of the noun agrees with the ending of the colour of the adjective? Okay, they are the same. So how would I say here are 3 blue rabbits? Okay, so remember, if you're watching from home, you can always pause the video while you have a think. Okay, remember, the lesson goes at your pace. So if you need a bit of extra time, just pause it while you think. Okay, should we go through the answer? So I need the word for 3. 1, 2, 3. Tres. I need to make the word for rabbit plural. So conejo. I add an S on it, conejos. And then I need the colour blue, azul. But I need to make it plural as well, azules. So I have 3 conejos azules. Listen carefully. I want you to see if you can hear what I have got. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture afterwards, but you need to work out how many of what animal and what colour it is. Aquí hay 5 gatos negros. Okay, una vez más, one more time. Aquí hay 5 gatos negros. Okay, aquí hay 5 gatos negros. What were you thinking? Did you think of 5 black cats? Perfecto. Aquí hay 5 gatos negros. So the next thing I'd like you to do is sort the words on the next slide into the following 4 categories. I'd like singular masculine nouns and adjective, singular feminine noun and adjective, plural masculine nouns and adjective, and plural feminine nouns and adjective. So remember, the lesson goes at your pace. So on this next slide now, you can pause this. I'd get some pencils and paper, and you can make it into groups of 4. So each group has 4 of these boxes in it. So how do I know if a word is singular and masculine? Well, I know that lots of masculine nouns end in the letter O. So I'm going to look through these and pick them out. I know that un means a for masculine words, and una means a for feminine words. So that's going to help me to sort out these words. So remember, pause it, have a look. I want all the singular masculine nouns and their adjective, then the singular feminine nouns and their adjective, then the plural masculine nouns and their adjective, and the plural feminine nouns and their adjective. And the plural ones will be easy to find because we know they're going to start with a number to show that there is more than one, or there are more than one. So each of the boxes need to have 4 answers in. Okay, so let's give you some time to work that out. When you're ready, press play and we'll move on to the next slide and I'll give you the answers. So we've got the masculine singular nouns, un perro rojo, un cerdo blanco, un conejo amarillo, and un ratón negro. They are all masculine, they are all singular. The singular feminine nouns, we've got una serpiente verde, una tortuga roja, una vaca amarilla, and una cabra rosa. They are all singular. There is only one. The plural masculine nouns, we have dos gatos blancos, tres monos amarillos, cinco ratones verdes, and dos perros azules. And the feminine plural nouns, we have cuatro ovejas blancas, dos serpientes naranjas, ocho tortugas violetas, and tres cabras rosas. Okay, so give yourself a bit of time to have a look over your answers and we'll move on to the next slide. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to sort the colours into two groups. Adjectives that change to agree with singular nouns in gender and adjectives that remain the same. So I'd like you to think of un perro, a dog, and una tortuga, a tortoise. Which of these words change their ending for una tortuga and which stay the same? So pause it while you have a think and we'll move on to the next slide and we'll go through the answers. So have a look. The two groups then, the words that change, the adjectives that change are rojo, amarillo, and negro. So we have un perro rojo, un perro amarillo, un perro negro. But when we're talking about a feminine noun, these adjectives change. We have una tortuga roja, una tortuga amarilla, una tortuga negra. The words that remain the same then are the colours verde, gris, marron, azul, and naranja. How do we make these colours plural to agree with plural nouns? So if you have a look at the ones that remain the same, if they end in a consonant, so that's any letter that is not A, E, I, O, or U, if they end in a consonant, we add ES to the end. If they end in a vowel, we just add S. So rojo becomes rojos, amarillo becomes amarillos, and negro becomes negros. So if it ends in a vowel, we just add S. If it ends in a consonant, we add ES. So put the words into a sentence to represent the picture. I've muddled up all of the words from my sentence. They're all mixed up. How do I make them into a sentence that makes sense? So I'm going to ask you to pause this for a moment. Have a look at the words. You've got tres, hay, conejos, azules, cerdos, aquí, dos, amarillos. You need to take these words and rearrange them to put the sentence into the correct word order. So pause it now while you have a go. And we'll go through the answer. So you should have aquí hay tres cerdos amarillos y dos conejos azules. Here are 3 yellow pigs and 2 blue rabbits. So have a look at each sentence. I've got 4 sentences, and I want you to explain why each sentence is grammatically incorrect. So have a look at the first one. It says, aquí hay tres amarillos perros. Why is that wrong? Again, if you want to pause it to have a think, and we'll go through the answer. So it is wrong because the colour is in front of the noun. So it should be aquí hay tres perros amarillos. Número 2, number 2. Aquí hay una tortuga rojo. Why is this one incorrect? Pause it and have a think. Okay, and the answer then. Tortuga is feminine, so rojo needs to be feminine as well. So the noun and the adjective do not agree here. It should be aquí hay una tortuga roja. Número 3. Aquí hay dos cerdo amarillo. Why is this one incorrect? So So it is incorrect because it says aquí hay dos, so two, but then it says cerdo amarillo, yellow pig. We need to make cerdo and amarillo plural. We need to add the S suffix. So it should say aquí hay dos cerdos amarillos. And número 4, aquí hay 5 serpientes verde. Why is that one incorrect? So number 4 is incorrect because verde is singular. We need to add the S suffix to make it plural so it agrees with serpientes. So aquí hay 5 serpientes verdes. So have a look at these these 3 sentences and explain why they are correct. So we've got aquí hay un perro naranja, aquí hay un gato rosa, and aquí hay dos conejos violetas. So if you notice, all of the nouns, the animals, are masculine, but the colours have an A on the end. How can this be correct? So it's correct because naranja, rosa, and violeta are the names of those colours. If they ended in an O, then we would change them to agree with a feminine noun. But they don't. They already end in A. So we're not going to change them to agree with a masculine noun. We leave them as they are. So if the adjective, the colour, ends in the letter A, it doesn't change when used with a masculine noun. So if you were to look in a dictionary at this, you would see naranja, rosa, violeta. It doesn't change to agree with a masculine noun. So your task then, I'd like you to go to www.spanishdict.com, okay, and this is a bilingual Spanish dictionary website. I would like you to go online and find the names of 3 different animals and write a sentence about each. So if you go to the bar at the top and you type in your animal and click the blue arrow, it will give you the name of the animal in English, and then below the name of the animal in Spanish. Then if you look, it will tell you the word class. It tells you it's a noun, and next to the word, it will give you either an M for masculine or an F for feminine in brackets. So it tells you the gender of the word, which will help you when you add your colour. So I'm going to give you an example. This is one that I've done. So I've taken the picture of 3 white owls, and from the word burro, which is the word for owl, I've written my sentence. Aquí hay 3 burros blancos. I know that el burro is an owl in Spanish, and I know that it is masculine because it tells me in the dictionary, and it tells me in the online dictionary it's a masculine noun. So I know that blanco, the colour, has to agree. And because there are more than one, there are 3, I have to make burros a plural and blancos plural. Okay, so my words have to agree. So I would like you to have a go, please, at home. You can just write the sentences if you want to, or if you want to write the sentences and draw the pictures, that would be absolutely amazing. Send them back into your teachers, please, because this week is the last week that you can win raffle ticket prizes. Okay, I'm going to draw the raffle next week. Also then, the last task I've got for you, I've sent class teachers a Google form, which is a Spanish quiz. It is 6 questions long and it is multiple choice. You need to complete the Google form. So complete the quiz and click submit at the bottom. That will be sent directly to me. And when I see your name come up as having submitted your form, then I will give you a raffle ticket, okay? And these forms are for me to see what you are doing really well with and what you are finding difficult. So when I plan the lessons for you, I can see what we might need to look at again or what we might need to have a bit more practice on. Okay, so try your best. Read each option carefully. The very last question, it says tick 5 options. So you need to choose 5 different ones, okay? So what I'd like you to do then is have a go at this dictionary creation task. Have a go at the Google form. And if you have time, have a go at the MFL project. This week we are looking at China. Okay, so as many pieces of work as you can get into me. We get a raffle ticket for each piece that you submit. Okay, so muchas gracias for your time and for joining us for our online Spanish. And I'm looking forward to seeing the work that you produce and send back into your teachers. Okay, so muchas gracias for watching, and I will see you next week for our 5th Spanish lesson. Hasta luego!